Do you know what your voice says about you as a leader? Well, you're gonna watch this video and you're gonna learn the 6 elements of the voice and what they say about you as a leader so that you can have an advantage in any room that you walk into. Stay tuned. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Sammi Sadicario and welcome to The Sammi Show. And I am the voice expert teaching you how to use your voice to be a better singer, a confident speaker, and a happier person. What does your voice say about you? Your voice tells people where you're from, your education level, your emotional capacity, your IQ. Your voice says so much about you that you might not be picking up on. And if you're lacking awareness, you're at a disadvantage. If you want to be an authority and a leader in any room that you walk into, learn how to master your voice. And in this video, I'm showing you the 6 tones of your voice and how they can play a role in different situations and what they say about you now, your vocal image. So as soon as you recognize, oh, my voice is this color, put in the comments, tell me, how would you describe your voice? Be accurate and also be nice to yourself, right? Like, please be nice to yourself. Your voice is so much of your personality. So be sure that you're being nice to yourself in this. So this work, shout out, is based off of the foundation that Barbara McAfee has put out into the world of the 5 elements of the voice. So shout out to you, Barbara, if you wanna watch one of her videos, they're out there in the world too. One of my mentors. So I've taken her work and broken it down and added one more as well. So 5 elements is based off of Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, and how the entire world is based off of earth, air, water, fire, and ether. For these purposes, we're using mud, earth, air, water, fire, and metal. And we're gonna use all of these in different situations. You learned a little bit of this if you watched my video on how to project your voice without yelling as well. And so I'm gonna demonstrate each of these and tell you what situations that you could use them for and what kind of person would use each of these voices. This is a way for you to discover your vocal image and also something that anybody can use. You can use any of these 6 elements in different situations. And most people have a combination of the 2. So it's not cut and dry. And I really wanna make that clear. This is not cut and dry. Oh, you always have this kind of voice, or you always have this kind of voice. It's a different way of looking at your voice and your personality so that you can have more information and more control and be highly competitive at whatever it is that you are using your voice to do. So whether you are our speaker or your attorney or you're a salesperson or you're a singer or even a partner or a mother or a father, and you want to understand how your voice affects the people in front of you, take this, recognize your vocal image, and then play with the other elements and see what happens. And of course, let me know in the comments. And as always, please hit subscribe if you want to be notified of more videos on the voice that I put out. So let's start with earth. Earth is low and grounding and authoritative. People with lower voices are shown to typically have higher salaries. So we see the people with lower voices as the authority, as the leader. They're grounded, they're in charge. We're gonna use our earth voice in order to stand our ground and set boundaries and say no. Now, the dark side of this is mud. Like, a lot of people sit into mud, and this could be both men and women use this mud voice in order to sound cool, but really what we're just doing is showing that, like, we're stuck. We're not going anywhere. It's really hard to get out of the mud. It kind of hurts a little bit. I don't want to do that for too long. The next is air. Hello, I have an air voice. If I have an air voice, chances are people see me as an airhead and talk over me. This air voice is used by a lot of spiritual people. I am in the frequency of abundance. And you'll notice that people with this air voice tend to have other people talk over them, or they might be very light and fairy-like, or they might be, this is the old school receptionist voice. We're also though gonna use this voice in order to inspire people. So it doesn't necessarily need to be a certain pitch. Air voice can be down here and be inspirational. I use this when I want to inspire people and say, let's look 10 years into the future. That's the voice that I'm going to use. So it is a strategic voice as well, but there is a shadow side of it that people are going to look over you if that's the main vocal image of your voice. And next we have water. Water is really flowing, and water is what we're gonna use if we're a meditation teacher, or if we are a mediator, or if we're working with children. We're going to use the water voice. The downside of the water voice is that it is boring over time. I said it, and I'll say it again. The downside of the water voice is that it will put people to sleep over time. So if you have that boring employee and coworker at your workplace, chances are they're using the water voice. And so if you find somebody in your office is using this, send them this video so that they can recognize that they're using the water voice. That's the dark side of the water voice. The water voice has a place. Of course, it has a place. And then next we have fire. Fire is motivational. Fire is exciting. I have a lot of fire in my voice. I have so much fire in my voice. Rising Leo over here. I have so much fire in my voice and I get really excited. The dark side of the fire voice is anger. Is somebody who's using a lot of fire in their voice can often be seen as somebody who's angry. It's not that they're angry, they're just excited to be there, or they're just using a lot of projection and volume and direct pitch in order to get their point across, to motivate. But it can be received as anger. So be aware that if you have a lot of fire in your voice, people might see that as angry. And then finally we have metal. Metal is the Fran Drescher voice. Metal is the New York voice. Metal is really intense out the nose, and a lot of people with blocked sinuses have metal and their voice kind of like cuts through you. But the benefit of that is that it cuts through. It cuts through sound. So if you're in a loud restaurant, if you need to project without getting louder, like if your microphone goes out while you're speaking on stage, you're gonna use the metal voice. The metal voice is also for singing, because in the metal voice you have more agility. And I talk about that more in my singing videos, but that metal voice is actually really key. Don't avoid it. Please find it. Please still find it. It is a strategic move. But if you're metal all the time, your voice is gonna be really piercing to people and turn them away. So be aware that if you have that metal in your voice, find more earth. Or find more water in your voice. Let's use this in practice. Let's say that you have somebody in front of you that's using a lot of fire. They're angry, they're motivated, they want to get their point across and they're yelling at you. What are you gonna do? You're not gonna fight fire with fire. No, you are going to fight fire with water. You're gonna fight fire with water, and you're gonna say, hello, I understand, thank you. However, it can be slightly condescending. So if you're finding that the water voice is too condescending, you're gonna just use more earth. I'm authoritative, I'm grounded, I'm firm in my boundaries, right? If you use a lot of water and that's your normal state, well, chances are it gets very boring after a while. So you're gonna use fire or metal to bring yourself up, give more energy to your voice. So you see what we're doing with this? Not only are the 5 elements or the 6 elements, because I added that mud, not only is this giving us a visual and a way to describe our natural voice, but it's also giving us more colors to play with in order to shift how we use your voice and to get what we want in any situation. So what color or colors are you naturally using? Are you using a combination of earth and water? Do you use a combination of fire and air? Let me know in the comments, what are you naturally using? And then here's your homework. I want you to pick one to practice. This week, you're gonna use one that's foreign to you, that feels weird, that feels different. One to practice, go out into the world and use it, and then let me know in the comments. How did it go? What did you learn? What changed? How did people see you? Did it get weird? Did it get exciting? Let me know. I want to know in the comments. And as always, please, please, please like, share, subscribe to this channel so that you can be updated on any new videos that I put out to help you own your voice to be a better singer, confident speaker, and happier person.